And welcome back to Rupy's Break from Reality, where, as you can tell from the sign behind me, I'm outside a national stadium. Which national stadium, might you ask? Well, it's the Japan National Stadium, or Japanese National Stadium here in Tokyo. And this was the site for the Olympics that were held 2 years ago, but should actually have been held 3 years ago, but were delayed because of COVID. It's quite an impressive little stadium and lots of greenery around, which you just don't see back home. Certainly not on the actual structure of the stadium. Now, this is actually a dual-purpose video because this site was also the site for the 1964 Olympics held in Tokyo, although that stadium was demolished and replaced with this one. And the 1964 stadium features oh so briefly in, yes, you've guessed it, You Only Live Twice. They drive past it. Bond and Aki drive past it very, very briefly. Or rather, they drive past it and you can see it very, very briefly. Now, I'm kind of hoping that they still have the Olympic rings up. Although I have my doubts. I have a feeling the Olympic rings have been moved down to the bay, which I'll be visiting later. But by my count, this is... People just don't care. No, they just say hello to the camera. They weren't going to say hello. But they're in the shot, so I might as well, involve them. So I don't think the Olympic rings are here, but by my count, I think this is the third Olympic stadium that I've seen on my trip. So we had Melbourne, which hosted in 1956, Seoul, which hosted 1988, and then this stadium, which hosted what should have been 2020, but was actually held in 21. And this area, this land, held in 1964. Right. Let's find those rings and obviously some food. I found them. They were here all along. Now this is the Shibuya Scramble Crossing, which some of you may recognise from TV clips and Hollywood films. It's said to be one of the world's busiest pedestrian crossings. And as you can see, lots and lots of people cross it. It's just outside a very busy train station, Shibuya train station. When you're in the middle of it, it's actually quite daunting when you've got up to 3,000 people at a go walking in all manner of directions. And then you get the tourists with their cameras. Very, very amusing. You just need your wits about you. And welcome back to Rupy's Break from Reality, where you join me on a, well, as you can tell, very grey and cloudy and frankly rainy day, which is why I'm wearing my jacket and I'm wearing my contact lenses so that so that I can see, basically. Now, as you can see, there is Tokyo Bay, and if it sounds a bit loud, it's because I'm on the Rainbow Bridge, which is a very heavy traffic bridge. Look, lots of traffic. And there's the bridge itself. Why is it called the Rainbow Bridge? Well, it's because at night it lights up. So I'm heading to the island of Odaiba, which is in that direction. And there are some things to see there, including the Statue of Liberty. Who'd have thought that I'd have walked from Tokyo to New York in about 20 minutes? I think it's just a mock-up. Then, hopefully, assuming that it doesn't rain too heavily, I'll stay there for the day and then hopefully get some pictures of this whilst it's lit up. But it's such a shame that you can't see anything, because I bet the view from here would be magnificent, because just over there-ish, is the Tokyo Tower. The very impressive Statue of Liberty looking type thing that I was at the other day. I know, really cool. So I can just about make it out. I'm not sure if you can really get it on the certainly not from this angle and this focal length. Yeah, I know. It's like I'm a pro photographer. But a lovely view, or what would be a lovely view, over downtown Tokyo, if it wasn't so cloudy, misty, rainy, etc, etc. But anyway, that's enough for now. I'm going to try and get out of the rain and get a cup of coffee. And there she is, the Statue of Liberty in Tokyo. It's cool, isn't it? And welcome back. I'm in central Tokyo. I'm on, as you may be able to just make out on that sign, Ginza West 5th Street. Why am I here? Well, it's actually quite an interesting, actually it's not an interesting place at all, it's just a shopping street. If you've seen one of the little side streets off Regent Street and Oxford Street, you've seen this place. But the significance of this place, for me, certainly, is that this is the last of the James Bond locations in Japan that I've been able to find. I'm sure there are plenty more that I've not been able to find, or that are even more blink and you miss it than this place. And this place is literally blink and you miss it. I think Bond and Aki are in the car, they're driving through Tokyo, they turn a bend, you see a sign for this street, and that's it. I mean, it's less than a second, I reckon, and here I am, 10,000 odd miles from home, filming myself on the street. It's pedestrianised now, so you're not really going to be able to do much driving. But so that's the significance. It's the last James Bond location from Japan. But worry ye not, for my next locations will also contain James Bond scenes, locations. My next destinations even will contain James Bond locations. So, in the immortal words of the close of credit sequence,